Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Sip and Chat with Azem. And of course, Jade, Gwenny Gwen, Idita, CPL, Matthew Stewart. Think it's Beyonce Johnson.
I didn't slim waist there for me, please. Slim waist Johnson. Sorry.
You know, I got you, yeah? You know, I got you from tomorrow.
Sleep me.
From tomorrow.
Yo, I am so tired, right? Today is about to be goofy. My God.
I'm so tired.
Yes. Uncle Berry sick.
The question is, right, Jade?
Oh.
Before we even get into the welcome, I'm looking at my cup of tea right here, right?
Bye, that like a party, no?
There's no way I could live up that, Jade. There's no way I could live up that. The Kingsters...
At least if I like my instructions.
The Kings, it's like whatever they didn't give to you, they make sure they give me.
What make me here sticking all that? What's happening?
I don't know.
Yeah. Them laxing on their own. They're doing...
Rebel salute, that's what we call it.
Oh, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
For real?
Rebel salute, yeah. And the lax just laxing.
Oh.
I mean, I just made it up, but that's what we call it.
Wow.
But guys, it's up for watching for the first time. Welcome. The return sippers, appreciate you so much. Get ready for us to have some nice conversation. I have been going back and looking at the comments and the conversations, and I have been enjoying the banter.
Yeah, they've been chatting.
Yeah, definitely. We have a really cool community of people.
But they love us, Mega too. They love us. You look nice. You have a hot date?
No, Jade. I'm going home directly after this.
Me too. Like, I cannot. You ever pre-plan your sleep?
Pre-plan your sleep? That's generally what I have to do.
Oh, yeah. Since I wake up, I say, boy, I can't wait for that 10 o'clock nap. We're going to hit.
Yeah. I think I'm going to need to do the same.
Yeah.
I have been so sleepy trying to recover from the weekend. Yesterday I was driving over to Peninsula. And I was struggling. Luckily I had company, so I was able to keep a nice conversation to keep me awake.
Good thing.
But how was it there yesterday?
I was very, very productive, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was super productive. Like I just worked from the time I got home to in the night actually. And I still have a little bit of, you know.
So like you were doing like what? Was it like flyers, social media posts?
I
like
had that. I had to do flyers. I had to do social media posts. Talk to some of my clients. You know, some invoicing, some proposals. I have some invoices to send out actually for us. So it's been a busy. Yeah, I can't go sleep right after the show. I have to do that before I go sleep.
Yeah, we have some stuff to deal with.
Yeah, but I've crossed everything off of my book.
Your to-do list? Yes. Your to-do, ain't even a list, it's like a to-do book.
My to-do book. It is exactly a book. I don't have lists, I have books, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, got through pretty much all of my work.
Okay.
As I said, the last thing I have to do is some invoicing. And then I could take a nap and wake up and figure out what else I have to do. Because I'm never not busy.
All right. Well, I left here. What did we have to buy? What did we have to?
We went to buy grapes.
Of course. Well, that's a. I don't think I have to say that. That happens pretty regularly.
That is true.
Yeah, almost daily. I have decided, Jade, that I think I might have said it here, but after my experience yesterday, I'm no longer eating, Jade. I'm no longer buying food, groceries, any of those things.
Your list, your bill for you?
Jade, what you don't know is after we left the supermarket and I dropped you off, actually went into town, went to Kingston and...
First mistake?
Well, we did some needed stuff for the show as well.
Mm.
I paid some bills and stuff out. And then dropped him off. I went home, Jade, and I wept. I wept because as I came out of the vehicle, I went to take out the groceries that I just bought.
The 5 things?
The 5 things. And remembering the bill, Jade, brought me to tears.
You know what's funny? All that, like, not all that, because it's 10 o'clock. Well, it ain't even 10 o'clock. Well, all morning, as soon as I woke up, the first thing was on my mind is, oh, I need to buy groceries. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have to go spend $1,000 now to buy chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can't afford this country.
I don't know what's happening, Jade. There was 35. You were there? You saw the look on the cashier's face when she gave me the
She know, I can't believe.
The lady started going back through the things.
To make sure she like double scan.
You were there, you saw it. The lady was just like, oh.
Yeah. I have some bad news.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate when
they look a little, remorseful.
Look, let me tell you all who work at the grocery stores, the cashiers in particular. You all have a very important job to do.
Definitely.
Not only do you have to ensure that you check up the groceries correctly, but you also now become emotional support for the shoppers.
Have to.
Because the shoppers, when you're giving them that kind of news, it's almost like, the people that the army sends to the homes to tell the people that their loved ones they aren't coming back. And those people have to have a special amount of skills, know how to deal with people because of
because it's heartbreaking news.
Hard news. Like it's crazy news. So they have special training and they're aware that, hey, this is the difficult set of information I'm going to be giving.
Yeah, you can't just throw it on people. That would be insensitive.
So the cashiers, I think, have to really recognize that. Like, hey, we're here for emotional support. If there's anyone you want to talk to, as a matter of fact, the supermarkets might need like a little seating area now for people to go after they've been given their bill.
Me just wonder why things are expensive.
This is how, as a matter of fact, what I'm going to suggest is this. This is how the conversation should go. All right, shopper, your bill is $3,764 for the 7 things that you bought today. If you have an issue coping with the price that we've just given you, please see our grief counselors to the left. There's light refreshments and a place for you to sit and contemplate life. Like that's
a place to sit and catch yourself after the hard news you've been given.
Yeah, then this supermarket's gonna need to do that. People and start falling down at the cash register.
Start? I see you nearly fear yesterday.
Jade, my knees went weak.
Good thing that I was there to catch you.
Let me tell you something, right, Jade? It's only out of pride. I wait until I reach home to weep, Me, I'm here.
Now you got to start weeping in front of them.
$36 for a bag of grapes.
Jaden might gotta stop eating grapes. I'm gonna let you. Jaden might just got to, and that's one of your favorite things, And
the mystic thing about, the mystic thing to be, when you see the price, and then you start studying about the fact that, like the initial shock passes, and then you go, but wait there. Me didn't even get everything I needed to get.
Okay. Okay, that's why I encourage people to shop in your parents' house. Go by your parents and just shop because.
Yeah. But then the older folks, them too, they're fragile, so you gotta watch yourself with that.
It's true.
But yeah, they're gonna need to do something about the price I think it has to be price gouging. This can't be what is happening all across the world.
I don't want to believe nowhere else does sell grapes for $36. Except for a few in Antigua. Specifically.
Antigua is a different animal. We can't really look at that. But the point I'm making is last week I went to a particular mechanic shop. I was told that I need to get a particular piece of.
You can't cuss out the mechanic.
No, but the point I'm making is, I'm not even cussing the mechanic, because you'll see. So here he goes. He tells me, oh, your vehicle needs a replacement battery, right?
Yeah, I think that's what you said.
Yeah, we needed a replacement battery. So I then say, okay, bro, send me the part number. He sends me the part number. When he sends me the part number, I also respond to him and say, hey, not an island. He said he's gonna check. Simultaneously, I go, take the part number, ship it into good old Google, get back a link with prices for the original, the exact part that I need, the battery. It's $158, like consistently.
EC or US?
US.
Okay.
It's 158 US, right? Okay, fine. I'm now waiting for the guy to give me the price at his establishment. He comes back and goes, okay, we have it. $2,800, Jade.
Bye, taking up before to go do some maths, right? But don't matter.
No. It's not close. As a matter of fact, I'll give you an example. I'll tell you something. So my response to him is $2,800 for the same battery that's online for $158. He goes, but man, how they got that price, man?
Listen, consumer fears do a job because this is ridiculous, honestly.
Some of these places really overdoing it.
You
cannot tell
or
me.
you need to go in there and just start finding people or whatever punishment y'all let's give out for people or establishments that do this. Let's start because ain't nowhere.
Jade, there are places that we know for a fact the way they come up with their price is just 300%. 300% of whatever it is they bought
You know
it
much
for.
times people on Facebook cussing out businesses under their post because they're posting the prices for certain things.
And people just going and being like, no, that can't make sense. Put
That-
screenshot
no,
and put it in the comments.
Listen, fully cuss out till they had to reduce the price.
Yeah, because it's ridiculous, Jade.
That's what we're going to start to do. Y'all post your prices and we're going to cuss out all you. Because since y'all have to learn the hard way.
I tell you, y'all only got a few more years of this year. I'm telling them, they only have a few more
Price
years.
gouging?
This is what's gonna happen, Jade. The only thing, right? And let me tell y'all, it's gonna happen.
But it's your battery for you buy me, yeah?
No, because what happened in that is that they don't recognize that at some point, whenever there's a problem, somebody gonna solve the problem.
Yeah.
And then whoever was the perpetrators of the problem gonna get left behind.
Wait till Amazon starts to run them drones down here.
But that's the point. That's the point I'm making. It's only a few more years before Amazon starts adding in and collecting the duty and VAT and so up there, you know. So when you buy your stuff on Amazon, you can pay your duty and your VAT one time.
Oh yes.
The government gonna love it.
Oh,
you know why
yes.
the government gonna love it? Because that means less pressure on the people here. Not only that, they're probably going to get more money. They're gonna see it as a way to get more money that way. Because now they ain't got to worry about if it's your cousin come and the cousin give you a little bleh and then a little discount and them kind of thing. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna say Amazon, yes, guess what? That would be so much more efficient, which it will be, and it's gonna happen. And you know what's gonna happen? All these companies, supermarkets, stores, all these things that Jade, people can just import everything.
Can't wait.
When we are talking about the import bill and how much we import on food and so, I ain't seen nothing yet.
Since I want to learn.
I ain't seen nothing yet.
No problem.
People gonna do weekly shopping from Amazon.
The pantry?
The thing is, you can make it here. I'm telling you, when you know that you're gonna get constant shipping, the logistics gonna get better. Wait until Amazon start to deliver directly to your house.
Problems.
The supermarket gone in. I'm telling you, Jade.
Yeah. Because why would I pay $36 for a bag of grapes? Not even a bag, a pack.
You might pay it, you know.
A bag with 12 grapes.
You might, you know, Jade. You might pay it. But the difference gonna be, it come into your house. It come into your house.
I overdoing it for July.
And you have a setting while you're buying. So you could go in and say, oh, I want these particular grapes. That's what can happen. The other day I buy a pack of grapes. The grapes them for $30-something. All the grapes them young.
Yeah, leave them on your counter too.
Just sour.
You couldn't leave them on your counter too.
I walk in around for like 2 days just be. People want to know if I walk in around begging for a kiss.
Cut your nature. Lord, friend. I cut it out, please. We need to be able to eat in this country.
Yes.
And we can't eat if we can't afford it.
But I don't tell you, I don't decide to
I
stop
tell you
eating.
that the one son.
I don't tell you what my diet is. I am foraging.
Listen,
I am foraging for grubs.
we just come here and complain about how fat the country be, you know.
Cherries and berries.
Cherries and berries, yes.
That's me.
We don't say the country fat, so they're fixing it. Just don't eat. Just don't eat.
Just don't eat. That's it. Well,
Just don't eat.
well, trust me, that's the path we're on right now. I could tell you that. That's the path we're on. But
And it gonna work out.
it's getting ridiculous.
It gonna work out.
At some point, Consumer Affairs has to come in and say, okay, guys.
They don't shop, no?
They have to come in and say, guys, we understand there has to be one. You have to pay certain costs. You have certain overhead to cover, staff, storage, etc., etc., etc. But it can't be that you're increasing the price by 400%. Like that makes no sense.
I think my grocery bill for the month is $1,000, you know. And I shop broken up because like sometimes I shop depending on if my son home and you know.
But Jade, congratulations to you, you know.
I can't do that no more, you know.
Because $1,000 for even anybody living by themselves is crazy. Not only that, by the time you add in the amount of like when you buy food to eat, then when you shop at a restaurant or whatever.
Who doing that? You think I'm buying all this food to go?
No, but what I'm saying is there's times when you might be out, you have to get something to eat. We buy breakfast sometimes.
It's true. It's true.
Right, your food bill is ridiculous, Jade. Like
I bought your 2 bread and starfish with egg yesterday and it was $20. 2 half a starfish is $20 by. Well, what a time. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. It's crazy. Somebody gonna have to fix it. I don't know who.
That's why I want to know if the consumer face people don't shop. Like y'all don't be going in the supermarket and seeing how the prices look. Y'all okay with it? Y'all get a lot of money, man.
Oh, but the supermarkets deserve to make a profit, right?
Of course.
But they can't be. You have to understand from the consumer aspect. We can see the prices, the retail prices in other places, and we know that you all ain't paying retail prices. We know this.
Nah.
Nobody is saying that if it's for 10 US online, that should pay 27 EC in the store. Nobody's saying that, right? But we know what the duty is, right? We know your shipping price is less. Also, we understand that you're going to be getting it not for the 10 EC, for the 10 US, right?
Yep.
So you can't go that something that is 10 US online is costing me 247 EC. No, Jade, I'm not even
I know. I had a flashback when you said it, that's why I laughed.
Jade,
this is a trauma response, you know?
This is the exact thing I've seen, you know.
I know.
I saw the thing. I went to the lady in the supermarket, in the shop, and it wasn't a supermarket. I went to the lady in the establishment, I go, is this that? She watched it.
Yeah?
All of a sudden she can't see Jade.
All of a sudden
squinting, rubbing she all kind of things. She said, let me see.
Hold it up.
Let me see. He looks so, you know. I said, miss, well, you could see the price underneath there. I said, if you can't see, let me tell you in 10 years, you know. She said, yes. I said, miss, how much you tell me for it? $247, Jade.
All the time. Friend, today is not Thursday. You were supposed to hold this until tomorrow. But I couldn't.
Jade, it made me cry.
I'm going to fight whoever make you cry.
Remember Douglas said, I want to cry. I feel what Douglas felt now.
You probably went to go buy some grapes. I understand, Uncle.
Yeah, but the name of the shop today is Sour Grapes bag.
Oh, thank you. Let me write that in my notes because I don't want to forget.
Yeah.
Sour.
Either that or my new nickname.
What?
Cherries and berries.
Cherries, no, sour grapes are better. Cherries and berries.
People just start to complain. Oh no, the fella that be on SipNchat? The fella was in me here taking me cherries and berries. I tell you, I'm gonna be foraging.
Please just let him eat. That's the only thing he could have right now. Just let him eat. Okay? He needs his energy.
Go down the bay, catch your fish and call it sushi.
Listen. It's a good idea. We're gonna do.
Like,
at this point, that's where you reach in life.
Yeah. But we have to do something. I don't know. And I think two people don't recognize.
Hey, somebody said we got excess. May know what this symbol be, right? But I know that's a monkey and that's a donkey.
I think they're saying...
Yeah, the man say, y'all gotta use the excess. Oh, he tried to say, y'all have to use the excess meat at home.
Yeah, the
monkeys
excess
and
meat.
donkeys. Bye, listen, you might be onto something now because...
Monkeys... Watch it, let me tell you something. Them things are delicacies, you know.
We might have to get with the program.
Speaking of which, yesterday was a very interesting traffic day for me.
Oh, whew. I wasn't sure where this was going.
Yeah, yesterday was a very interesting traffic day for me.
Why, friend?
So, remember I told you me and one of the Kingsters went down in town to handle some sugar factory business, right?
Yes, yes.
So when we come in up 4th Street, we're in the stop.
This is somebody coming down?
No.
Oh.
Traffic light green, cars bustling back and forth. Here comes this fellow, just decide, meh, I'm just coming to Victoria Road and just going the road. Phew. Well, when he realized that there was a car barreling towards him, the look on his face, and the look on the face of everyone around. Utter shock, Jade. Now, bear in mind that on Monday as well, when I came back, I was in town, and I saw at least 4 people do the exact same thing. Jade?
Why?
I am at the point where...
We don't have traffic lights?
They
don't work?
They were working, Jade. At this point,
okay.
I am no longer blaming the traffic department. People just not care.
But this has been the conclusion long time.
People not care.
I just don't kill me, you know.
Jade, it was ridiculous. On one hand,
No, I'm good.
in a few minutes, we saw at least 3 people lose their life down at the traffic crossing at the Bay Road by the old Treasury there, right?
No, that down there go kill somebody. May never lie to you.
But on 2 occasions it was the people, the pedestrians.
No, it's the people, it's them.
No, on the last occasion, it was the motorists.
Ah.
Light done red, he trying to beat the thing when the thing say walk. So people stepping out in the road and he coming. I was like, what is this, a circus? Like I couldn't understand. It's like Final Destination in town.
You think I just go home, bye?
It's like Final Destination in town.
Oh, you ain't gonna clean me up. The amount of times I've seen pedestrians almost lose their life down. You know, something about that one traffic stop. Y'all ain't care. It's either y'all trying to die as a pedestrian or y'all trying to die as a driver.
Kill somebody as a driver.
But they're gonna die too.
But I don't understand. Can we just...
Bring back the traffic wardens. Put them over there. Take them from the little junction by Social Security, put them over there.
I am not a fan, I am not a fan of the jaywalking tickets, right?
Yeah, but no, somebody need them.
But I'm telling you, you get into a point where I can't deny that we're going to... Some people are going to get...
Old ladies and all, you know, and it's them, it's literally them always feel like, because they're old, the car going to stop. Ma'am, if the car hit you, you're going home to God quick, you know?
Jade, if I hear one more person beg to be hit by a vehicle, hit me now!
Oh, okay.
Hit me if you're bad now!
There ain't a badness thing,
Miss,
man.
you like green.
You wrong. And you...
What you going to hit me?
Yes, if you don't move. Duh, what's I going to do? You in the wood?
I don't
What
understand.
you in the wood?
I don't understand, Jade.
Tell me, I'm driving. Because you ain't going to put me in the problem.
Things are weird around here. So that's one. And then all of a sudden now...
But a lot of things happened to you yesterday.
No, the traffic. Next thing now, and then what was happening now, at one point we see a monkey do the exact same thing. Could have swear we got monkey meat for dinner, but no. The monkey managed to escape. I think where this happened? Oh, the Kingston one of the part-time Kingsters was with me. And we were heading to, that's when I was heading to Park Hyatt.
Ah, you were busy yesterday?
Shenanigans to report. Because on my way back from Park Hyatt, get to the roundabout there by ECCB. And here we are, Jade. The vehicle in front of me pulls into the left lane. So we're coming back to town from Frigate Bay. Pull into the left lane. I pull into the right lane because I'm continuing up the Kim Collins Highway. Of course, the vehicle in the left just passed the 2 exits, come around, and decide they're going up the Kim Collins Highway as well. That's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn.
I said, well, I got Azem all well up to now, me know what story yet, you know. Because I have pissed off Azem thoroughly yesterday.
I'm just concerned for the nation, Jade, because I've been convinced now that unless there is a widespread shift in how we deal with the traffic, we're going to have some unfortunate occurrences. It's just concern. Like, I just wait for the light to either turn green to go, or if it's red, I stop.
Naturally.
And if the thing doesn't say walk, I stand up.
As you should. As you should.
So I don't understand.
You ain't
like
understand.
so the thing is now, what I will say though, based on what I saw yesterday, drivers, you have to drive and be mindful.
You have to drive for your people.
Because people just wilding. The school children, them
they don't care about them. They're like speed bump.
Them they don't care about life. I am convinced.
Them they watching the car coming and just.
I don't know what they're teaching them in school, but obviously it is not how to stay alive. Because them they're just doing anything.
No type of situational awareness, nothing. Just vibes.
I just see these children just come straight down Victoria Road, straight across just Kean Street.
When they stop.
I just be like, what?
When they have traffic.
Not only that, you know, some of the good ones might be there waiting, you know, but you're going to always have this one. He always, or she always, pretty much taller than the other children, them, and just decide to just pass the line of kids that are waiting for the walk signal, and just whoop.
Listen, I teach I train them how to pass the road, please. Since that's not a thing anymore. Since that is not a thing anymore, please remember, green means go, red means stop, and yellow means get ready to stop. Kids, if you see that little man on the sign, that's when you can cross the road, okay? Also, those numbers mean things. Those 3 to 1s, look at them.
Make sure you're on the other side before he gets to 1, please.
Even before he gets to 2. Just to be safe.
Yes. Yeah. But Jade, what you have on the lovely agenda for us this morning?
Well, we can talk about our new ambassador, who cussed out our old ambassador. I love it. I love it. But no, let's just talk about our new ambassador. He did cuss out the old ambassador though.
Who he ain't cuss, Jade?
No, you know, he don't play that. He don't play that.
Like who he doesn't
Us.
Okay, we'll see after today.
Me say nothing bad about him, you know?
No, me.
Okay, he gonna tell me about myself, you know?
No, but I mean, I don't have nothing. I don't have anything to say bad about him.
That's true. That's true.
He's a very good singer.
Yes, and he is now an ambassador. Yes, so congratulations to His Excellency Ambassador Larry Vaughan, who was accredited earlier yesterday at the CARICOM Secretariat as the new ambassador for St. Kitts and Nevis to the Caribbean community. Join me in extending congratulations to Ambassador Larry Vaughan, and that came from our Honorable Prime Minister. You know what I like about him being an ambassador to CARICOM? He can never cuss out the rest of them. No, you think so?
He won't.
He needs to.
He won't.
That's what needs to cuss them out, because I don't know what CARICOM does be doing.
What the ambassadors will be doing?
This one gonna do something. I have faith in this one.
Congratulations.
Let's move on. Quickly. Because Azem's faith is dwindling.
Like we're gonna act like we know what this is. Like this.
Put your finger on your mouth. What are they saying for school? Put your finger on your lip. Put your finger on your. Thank you. And keep it there. How you gonna do that?
Oh my gosh.
You ain't gonna do that. Let's go. So
I just don't understand why we do
this. What about your finger? You see, let's follow instructions.
I'm not talking about this.
Oh,
I'm just saying I don't understand why we just pretend like we don't know. Like we don't know. I don't understand it.
Well, moving on quickly. Faultless divorce law comes to effect in Bermuda. Yes. So a faultless divorce law comes into effect on Barbuda.
And Barbuda or Bermuda?
Bermuda, sorry, Lord.
Oh.
The sleep, but I can't read, bye. So, it is now easier for married couples on Bermuda to end their union as the Matrimonial Causes Faultless Divorce Amendment Act 2022 is now operational. Kathy Lynn Simmons, the Attorney General, made the announcement in Parliament. She said that the Matrimonial Causes Rule 2023, which was approved by the Senate in March 2022, replaces the 1974 legislation ending the unhelpful blaming and shaming associated with having to prove in court that the conduct of one of the parties in the cause of the breakdown in the marriage.
What kind of ridiculous nonsense is this?
You hear it was from 1974?
No, that, of course you have to prove something. Like if me and you enter into a contract with Jade and you want out of the contract, you don't just come and say, I want out of the thing that I signed to and contracted to. Like how you just decide, well, may I want this no more, buy.
Yeah, that's exactly.
That's not how it works.
That's not how it works here.
That's not how it works in anything, Jade.
Bermuda.
If you no, they're saying they're talking about the law and they're saying, oh, you had to prove that there was something wrong.
Yeah.
Duh. Because if you come and you make an agreement, like why get married? Why get married if all you want to do is to be able to leave? Then you could just love without marriage.
No,
it don't matter.
Looked down upon.
No, it's not, Jade. Have you seen the world?
Yes, and I've also seen the world telling women that the goal is to get married, and if you're not getting married, that you're not worthy of love.
Jade, what are you saying?
No, sure.
That's not true.
You don't see that?
Explain to me how you see this, Jade. Where have you seen this?
On social media. Where else I can see it?
No, seriously, I'm serious.
On social media, as if every time I go on social media, one, the insult that is thrown at women who are married, or that's why you ain't married, or you ain't, nobody gonna marry you because you're a single mom and you're over a certain age. Like, every day people
but that's facts, Jade.
What do you mean?
But
is marriage the only goal?
Jade, but that's the point I'm making is you think who you think, like, do you think those people want to get married? It's only shameful if you're not achieving your goal, you know. If your goal is to settle down, get married with somebody, bam, 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 and you're doing
use it to shame you even if they don't know if that's your goal or not.
But Jade, generally, would you say that the goal for most people is to find someone, settle down and get married? For most people, of course not everybody, but for most people.
Currently, me so sure.
Okay, so that is the point I'm making then. So at this point in time, right, there are less and less people who are looking at marriage as being an end-all, be-all, and a goal, right? And like I keep saying, particularly men, right? Because men are just finding out more and more that it's a losing proposition for them. For instance, I wanted to continue with this because if there is anything in this, there's nothing in this law that speaks to a change also in, for instance, distribution of resources, alimony, etc., then this can't make no sense. This is like if me and you enter into a business relationship, right? You are supposed to deliver some sort of goods. I am supposed to pay some sort of money. I pay the money. You don't deliver the goods, and then you just say, hey, guess what? Me really want to honor this contract anymore. I changed my mind, right? There must be some way for me to either get back my money, do whatever.
Well, they're saying that the aim of this is to make that process easier without an attorney. You're watching me like it's me say it. It's what it literally says. The aim is for parties to divorce and other matrimonial proceedings to be able to be successfully navigated without an attorney. I'm literally I'm reading what she said.
I know you're reading what they said, right, Jade, but this don't even make sense.
Well, it makes sense for them clearly. So
this don't make no sense.
For them it does.
Yeah, but they're not even explaining it. You can't you can't say.
So just say yes, I can get divorced without having to,
The issue that they said they had with the old law is that people had to explain why they were getting a divorce. In what world that sounds like a bad thing?
Well, friend,
all this continues to do is to cheapen the institution of marriage. It makes
why?
it's not the marriage is no longer a commitment in Bermuda then. It's no longer a commitment.
Why you think so? Because they could.
Yeah, because you could just turn one day and decide I don't want it no more. So how that's the exact opposite of a commitment.
Well, that's a lot of relationships.
What are you talking about?
You could just realize you don't want it no more.
Yes, but that's not when you get married. That's why I keep saying why you get married.
Well, they just need to talk about that then, and they're good.
No, but even outside of that, right? Like there's certain realities of marriage, right? So, for instance, bringing together and even the idea of not involving attorneys, that is not a good idea. The reason being, you have to do things now like divide resources. We might have had joint accounts with how do we then determine things like each person's contribution to the acquisition of wealth while they were together? How do we determine all them things? Like how? So me and you are supposed to just figure it out. Like
that's the term they say. Figure it out.
But has that worked? The reason that we have to include attorneys in the first place is because that doesn't work.
Somebody said, right, if there are no children or splitting of resources, they should be able to be nullified in swiftness it took to get the license instead of years.
Jade.
You keep watching me like it's me saying these things. I read it as if watch them.
Why get married? Why have marriage? Why marriage should even exist?
Marriages are personal. Why should the court have a record of your grievance decisions with that person?
Well, see, if you want to make that argument, then I could get along with that now. In other words, right, one of the big issues with this is the fact that marriage has evolved over centuries, right? So marriage was about pooling of resources, building community, building families, etc., right? Now that in itself is why, if you believe in that, right? If you believe in that, then of course the government should be involved in that, right? Because what you're really doing is nation building, right? So the government has a stake in ensuring that these things go well, because this is the bedrock of the nation, right? So and it's things like pooling resources, we're building family, just building community, just building country. If that is what marriage is by definition, the government has to have a part in it, right? Because the government has to ensure that this institution remains strong and firm, because this institution is what the nation is built on, right? Fine. If you're trying to tell me that since we have now evolved, and marriage is just about love, and just about, I like this person, I love this person, I want to be this person all the time, I want to be under their skin, then the government ain't got no reason to be in that. The government should not be involved in who you love and don't love and what you do with this person that you love. The government don't have no reason to be involved in that. So my thing, if you want to make an argument to take the government out of marriage, I could live with that, right? But then what that means is that this is no institution that deals with love, and we are turning our back on what marriage has been for centuries. Do I believe that there's consequences that come along with that? Yes.
Definitely.
But that is the argument that people are people are making, and that is how we are acting. That's why you could come and say, I don't want to be with you no more. Huh? We made a commitment, we signed a contract, we did this, is what we did. Like, we have a duty. We have a duty not only to ourselves, we have a duty to the nation, because, well, that's why the government even involved in the first place. We have a duty, like, we made vows to seal contract. You understand? So how is it that you just turn around and decide, I don't want this now? And it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, that don't make no sense.
Because we fall out of love.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. If marriage is about love, then why the government involved? You see what I'm saying? Like, we have to figure out what marriage is.
Till now,
Yes, because it's constantly evolving.
True.
It's constantly evolving, just like everything else.
So
Apparently, all the words.
We've evolved to love now.
When I hear people talk about marriage,
that's usually
what they talk about it in. They talk about it in the context of, I love this person, right? And so what happens is, of course, you can fall out of love. That is why arranged marriages and so would take place, and they would last forever, and people would stay together and everything. It was a duty. It's a contract. It wasn't about whether or not I love you or don't love you. That's why you could have married somebody you never even met.
Well, somebody said, Azem, have you ever heard about see me and come live with me? Things just change. I don't want to watch me, What?
If you make uninformed decisions, there are consequences to that.
Definitely.
There's something called accountability. There's something called consequences. You have to deal with the consequences of your actions. You should be in a position, one, to want to make this work, even in situations where it's not ideal, right? Of course, nobody come and type in nothing about situations where abuse and so takes place. We're obviously not talking about that. But when people just wake up one day and just decide, I don't want this no more, after you've invested X amount of time, years of your life, you made a commitment, and the person's just gonna look over one morning and watch you and say,
man,
I can't deal with you snoring. It was all good, but then the last 6 months, it's just been like all this snoring in my ear. I haven't been able to get a good night of sleep in the last 6 months. I don't want this no more.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Come on. Come on.
Just be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Don't get married.
That's all.
That's all you got to do. I don't understand why people like.
I think, as I said, I think it's because of the weight people put on being married. Like, unless you're married, like people shame you for being in a long relationship, not being married.
Again, I think that's because generally the goal is to get married. It's not just people think you should get married. It's we believe in getting married, right?
Yeah, but some people don't.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. So the shame only comes if you're only shameful if that's what you want and you're not getting it. Because you're not achieving your goal. It's not, in other words, it's not my fault you ain't achieving your goal.
Yeah.
But if it's not your goal and me saying, hey, guess what? You're not married. Like, duh, I'm not planning to get married.
Yeah, I mean, who tell you I want to get married?
So
that's usually the response that I see.
Yeah, that's usually the response you see. But then 2 years later, they're married.
Yeah. Listen, if y'all ain't want to get married, don't do it. If y'all not built for marriage, y'all don't see yourself getting married, do not do it. Because then y'all gonna have to go through a whole thing where y'all have to get divorced.
Let me put it this way, Jade. You're saying it wrong. Let me give my advice. If you do not believe that marriage is forever, don't get married.
No, I think that I believe that it's forever.
No.
It just don't work out that way.
No, Jade.
You don't think so? You don't think these people going into that marriage thinking that they're going to be together forever?
No, and the reason for that is because if you're using love as the determinant for who you're married, then obviously you do not believe in marriage forever because there's no guarantee that you'll love the same person forever.
True. I don't get married, do you? Get married for money.
If you and your partner can't decide that this is what we are doing, come hell or high water, then there's no reason for you to go and get married just because. Like, all we're doing is cheapening the institution. We continue to cheapen the institution, and by extension, we cheapen the role of the institution in society. It's not making no sense. It's not making no sense now. Like, it's ridiculous. People getting married for a quick come up. People getting married because it was a fantasy of theirs. People getting married for all sorts of weird reasons, even outside of just love. Right? Even outside of just love. And nobody's saying that love is a weird reason. No. But I'm saying love can't be the only reason, because some days you wake up and the love ain't there.
Yeah, some days you wake up and you absolutely despise that person. What are you gonna do? You're not married.
But if there is an overarching goal of making this union work, the days when there is no love, that overarching goal is what gives you the drive to continue to work on it to make it happen.
Yeah, naturally, if you're with somebody for years, like there will be rough patches and hard times and days when you just want to punch them in the face, and don't do it. However, there will be those feelings.
Yeah,
So we're going to divorce them?
That's what it is. That's what it is, Jade. That's what it's coming down to. That is what it's coming down to.
Somebody says there is no forever. That is not a fairy tale.
There is no forever. That is not a fairy tale.
Maybe they meant to say that is a fairy tale. Men are not sleeping in there.
But of course, there's forever, right? But the forever doesn't mean that you love the person forever. Love doesn't even have to be at the start. Like, that's the point.
Yeah.
Love doesn't have to be at the start. People used to get married. Kings and queens get married for a pool of resources, for security, all these kind of things. People got married to stop wars. Yeah. People got married because they recognize this is how we build our legacy, our future. This is what people get married for. This new thing about like marry who you love and all this kind of thing. Yeah, this is I don't know. That is not serving the same purpose. That don't mean that it doesn't have its own purpose. But what I find happening is, since we have changed the view on marriage, it has cheapened the institution, and now people are just so easy to just walk away.
Somebody said, pastor said no shack up so they get married.
Yeah, all of that, yeah. All of those reasons why people get married.
Stupid.
All of that is why people get married.
Stupid reasons.
All that is why people get married. One day, wake up, child come, okay, well, let's get married.
Yeah, we got a child now, so let's just get married. Huh?
No, but I don't have a problem with that, you know.
No, but then you have to understand that you can't just...
No, but then you have a duty, not only to yourself, but also to the child.
Yep.
And possible children to come. You have a duty to make it work. At some point, you have to start taking yourself out of it. You have to stop prioritizing my selfish needs above everything else and everyone else. At some point, you have to start dedicating energy and time to something bigger than yourself. Whether that is your family, whether that is the community that you're serving, there has to be something in your life that is dedicated to more than just you.
Somebody said, marry who you love, lol.
Kind of crazy. That's a crazy concept, eh?
What?
Like, I mean, this is something that I keep saying. I don't mind if you're making an argument to take the government out of marriage, because marriage no longer concerns the government. If marriage is about who you love.
Yeah. Who
you love, the government ain't got no reason to be involved in that.
They're choosing for you.
So you could just wake up one day, decide, hey, guess what? Me and Sandra, we married now. The government ain't got nothing to do with that. They ain't got nothing to do with bank. You go to whoever, you fix whatever. You could get a joint bank account and not be married. You could do all these things and not be married. You could put somebody's name on your life insurance and not be married.
Yeah.
You could do all of these things. But when you start involving the government, there's a reason why the government was involved in the first place.
Listen, people that put way more thought and effort into the ceremony.
Not people. You know who the people are, Jade.
What do you mean that? Don't you tell me that people that said I know who the people are. So who is people?
The specific group of people, Jade.
People that put more thought and energy into the ceremony than the actual relationship. That's where y'all just go wrong. I mean, y'all going wrong before that, but that's another step in the wrong direction. So,
Jade,
I don't know.
Since you use people, I'll use people too. But there's people that fantasize about getting married, right? No, sorry. Let me say it another way. There are people that fantasize about their weddings.
Yes.
Right? And give very little thought
to the rest.
To marriage.
Y'all don't even have proper conversations before y'all get married. Like, y'all have no idea the beliefs, how they want to raise their kids, things that y'all need to talk about before y'all even enter into such a serious...
Jade, let me tell you something. I have been in situations where, based on the conversations I've had with persons, I knew it didn't make sense for this to continue. This is before me and this person is in a relationship. This is just in the get to know you phase. Right? There are people that, based on my belief system, we won't be able to have a fruitful relationship. Right? And again, this is not an attack on anybody to say what your preferences are and to say hey, I respect your beliefs enough to not try and change them. So for instance, there was this young lady. I thought she was an amazing young lady, right? This is like when I just finished with like high school.
There's still time for you to rekindle a relationship.
No, we cool, like we good now. She's actually married now, so not really.
Yeah.
Right? She's married now.
For love?
I don't know the ins and the nitty-gritties of their relationship. Right? But but they seem to be happily married.
Okay. Vibes.
So at the time I thought she was so cool, she was so nice. And in getting to know her, I started asking questions about, she obviously was very religious, right? So I started talking to her about, you know, some of the beliefs and stuff like that. One of the things that I remember we having a huge argument, well, it wasn't a huge argument, but it was something that I just couldn't wrap my mind around was, what do you mean if our child is sick and needs a blood transfusion, you're not going to you can't allow that. I can't understand.
You put my child life in danger now.
And she was like, no, like we don't believe in that. Like we don't believe in blood transfusions. Right? Again,
I know which religion this.
Yeah, so it wasn't about me. It wasn't even about me belittling her beliefs or anything. I just knew that I would not. In other words, right? Imagine a situation where that comes up and the child unfortunately does not make it. Where do we go from here? How me and you can ever?
There's no more me and you.
How can we ever interact? Whatever, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's like was gonna be like red flag.
And so for me, at that particular point, I knew there was no real future with this person.
To feel like we could change people, like we could love them into change. That's not how it works.
That's not what it is, Jade. You know what I think it is? I think what it is that we compartmentalize and we put people into different boxes. So I can now recognize that you are not anyone I can be in a long-term relationship with. But we could have fun.
No,
I'm saying that's what people think to then continue interacting with this person.
Some, because I know for a fact there is people that just try to love people into changing their mind, or love people into thinking, okay, well, he feel this way now, or she feel this way now, I'm going to love her into changing shit. No, that's how we don't want, man. Y'all need to start listening to people. When they tell you one thing, believe exactly what they tell you and don't feel like, oh, she just feel this way now. When I'm such an amazing person, when they get to know me, their mind going to change.
When people start talking about arranged marriages, I believe it had its pluses, but it also had its drawbacks, of course. People like to use love as the drawback for that. No, I believe the drawback for the arranged marriages was the fact that you're now joining people who, even though they might have very strong cultural differences, they might have very different personal characteristics.
You mean they have
so they don't know.
Similar?
No, they have very...
Not differences, you mean similarities?
Yeah. So they have very strong cultural similarities, but they might have differences in terms of personality, right? Because you don't actually get to know the person a lot of the times.
No.
Right?
Your mother just show up and be like, here, this is your wife.
So that's one of the issues. Now, in a situation now where people have the opportunity to choose who they interact with, I still see it a lot where people still don't ask the necessary important questions when they get into know people.
I think we should continue this conversation after our interview because it's very interesting and it's very important. But we don't want to keep our guest waiting because I'm sure she has a very busy day.
Of course, always.
So, yes.
But guys, we're going to take a short break and be right back with more Sip and Chat right here on the Sugar Factory. Fill up your mugs. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
just respond to that message quickly.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sip and Chat with Azem and Jade, and we are joined by Gian Williams. Good morning, Gian. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, and blessings on the new space.
Appreciate
Success and
it.
good energy.
Thank you. You bring message.
Accept it.
No.
But how are you doing?
I'm good. Excited.
Yeah.
Excited. We have some things happening at the IP office that I think a lot of female creatives will be happy to hear.
Lovely. And you already mentioned kind of why you're here and what we're going to be talking about. But for those listening and viewing who may not know exactly what your position is as it relates to, IP here in St. Kitts, let them know.
So I'm the registrar of the Intellectual Property Office here in St. Kitts and Nevis. We are a department under the Ministry of Justice and Legal Affairs, and we service the intellectual property needs in St. Kitts and Nevis. So there is not a IP office in Nevis, so we have to make sure our activities cover both islands.
Okay, nice. And I know that you have been, well, not just you, but your entire department has been busy working as it relates to IP here in the Federation. And you guys have a new initiative that is on the way, an event. So tell us a bit about what's happening.
So every year on the 26th of April is World IP Day, so World Intellectual Property Day. April 26th every year, can't miss it on the calendar. This year the theme is Women and IP, Accelerating Innovation and Creativity.
Women and IP accelerating innovation and creativity.
Oh. Yes.
I like it.
I wonder why this theme?
Well, they pick them every year. The World Intellectual Property Organization picks the theme. We just get the theme and we're guided on what sort of activities as member states of WIPO that they want us to put on. So for example, we had focus on music in years past, focus on the digital economy. This year, no, it's about women and focusing on how women and our creativity and innovation adds to the world, and how we create and enhance the world, our products, or the things we enjoy, everything. So just focusing on the creativity and innovation of women this year.
Okay, nice. So as you guys celebrate women and their creativity and intellectual property, what are some of the activities that we can expect? Okay,
so as usual, we have initiatives where we go out into the public and we speak. Last year, the focus was on young entrepreneurs, and we did a session for entrepreneurs under the age of 18, teaching them about copyright and trademarks and how to protect their brands, even as young as 9 years old.
Nice.
So we want to start. We do these sorts of activities every year. So this year we're going to try and visit at least 4 schools to talk to grade 6 and at least Form 4 students about women and innovation and creativity, helping women to see that we are natural creators and we are so innovative, and we think it's just regular one-of-the-mill, nothing special. We don't even realize how much magic we have. So when that magic creates fantastic products and goods and services, we want to come in there now and show you that, hey, you've created something that is worth protecting.
I love it.
So that's what we're trying to do this year. So we're going to do some high school visits and primary school visits on the 25th and the 26th. But the I'm so excited about this, and I really hope that people participate. we always talk about trademarks.
Okay.
We always hear people saying, you know, I've created this brand, and we see these fancy logos, we hear these fancy business names. You take your time and you make sure that the pink that you always use is the code of this, and the different
brand consistency.
Right. So we are paying a lot of attention to these things now. And then when you tell people, hey, you know, you should protect that as a trademark, and by protecting it as a trademark, it means that no one else will be able to use your brand or the trademark you've protected without your permission. So they can't just stick it on a flyer somewhere else. They can't, you know, just replicate it and claim it as their own because you have the protection. I have to add that without the protection, you don't have a basis to really stop somebody from using your brand. But when you start talking to people and they say, like, yeah, I need to get my trademark protected, I need to get my logo protected, and then you drop the price on them, you never see them again. We never see them again.
Or I have to pay for this protection.
Right.
And they don't recognize perhaps paying this now would save you a lot in the long run.
Definitely.
Exactly. You know, one of the things when I can't really go through the long
the long speech.
because not everybody. I sell insurance. I sell creativity insurance. So by getting this trademark protection, you will be able to protect your brand and have a legal basis to have somebody cease and desist from using it. So what we notice though is that the cost is the most prohibitive factor in locals accessing our IP protection system. I could tell you that we have over 7,000 active trademarks registered in St. Kitts and Nevis, 2% of which are local.
I was about to ask how much is local.
That's
2%, less than 2% actually is from locally based persons.
No, we have to do way better than that.
So we recognize this, and we made an appeal to our minister and said, please allow us to have a competition at least where we can give trademark registration for free.
Right.
Absolutely free. And he agreed.
Okay.
So he has given us the permission to give away 4 free trademark registrations to female entrepreneurs or a female creative in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay, nice.
I'm about to get in on this.
So I have the rules. I will be posting them to the page today. So basically, what you have to do is post a video less than a minute on Facebook telling us how innovation and creativity accelerates your brand. So that's the video. Minute, how does innovation and creativity accelerate your particular brand? You post the video on Facebook, you tag us in it, and use the hashtag WomenAndIPSKN.
Azem, you're gonna be my cameraman?
I can do that.
Okay.
I got you.
And of course, like the page as well. So it's just basically those 3 things.
Too easy.
So the video, how does innovation and creativity accelerate your brand? Tag us, use the hashtag, and like the page.
Imagine that. Y'all do this for TikTok dances all the time. It's easy. It's easy.
So that's what we thought, you know, let's see the creativity. And I should mention that a trademark registration costs $980.
Okay.
And you're getting it for free if you
want. That is quite a price.
Which is why, like I said, they come in a lot of excitement, want to register, and then you hear the price. And
well, not a price. I'm saying it's a price for the persons who are gonna get it for free.
Yes.
Because the truth is though, like $980 to protect your creativity. It might be a little difficult for some people at the time, but it's well worth it.
It's
well worth it.
And it lasts for 10 years.
Right.
Yeah, so technically, let me do some maths here.
It's like $98. $98 a year, but you know, we can't allow you to, you know, people will ask, you know, can I pay in installments and things of that nature.
Right.
But that's not something that we do. So just to go through some of the rules, the video entries must identify the person's name, their business or their brand, the island that they're based in, a description of their brand of business services and show or explain how innovation and creativity accelerates your brand. You must be resident in St. Kitts and Nevis. You must be the sole owner of the trademark. That would be registered if you're successful. So we don't really want it to be a situation where it's you and somebody else.
Right.
It's really somebody else, but they put you forward. So we want you to be the sole one. 4 winners will each win one-on-one trademark application consultation and 100% waiver of the IPO SKN fees.
Love it.
Nice.
Towards the registration of like I mentioned, that's valued at $980, but a one-on-one consultation is what really would help people, because the process is not necessarily very straightforward and one that people are not too familiar with. So we help you figure out exactly what you want. And the good thing about it, because I know this might be a concern for people, we will assign you to one person to do the trademark consultation, but that person will not vet your app. They will not process your application. So there's not that conflict.
Right.
So thankfully, we now have an additional attorney, so we have space that we could say, leave that for one person. It's not just one or two people dealing with that. The winners have to participate in our World IP Day activities. So we talked about the school visit, so just come with us at least one.
Right.
So that we can have a physical example of this is a woman innovator or creative. So so we have two ways that you could win. So we have 2 winners from St. Kitts and 2 winners from Nevis. One from each island will be selected based on their content, which we will give points. So you get 10 points for content, or you'll judge 10 points for content, 5 points for creativity, 10 points for trademark strength and registrability, 3 points for adherence to all the rules, and 2 points for the most Facebook reactions.
Okay.
So if you want to get really, really wild and creative and share it and get lots of reactions, there's a point system.
Right.
So from each island, one person is going to have that point system. And then we're just going to do a random draw for the second one.
Okay, nice.
So even if you're not that person who got a lot of reactions and you didn't go super creative, you still have an opportunity to win.
Okay.
But it will be a random draw.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So there's much opportunity for persons, no matter what your strengths are, to just get involved, send in the application, and who knows, maybe you might be the winner of this prize.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. So whatever your strength, if you're like Jade and you're gonna come with 5 different cameras and all sorts of different things.
Give me the idea.
Or if you're just somebody who's gonna put your phone in front of your, on a tripod in your bedroom or something like that, you still have a chance.
I love it. I love it. I think it really encourages people to kind of take a second look at trademarking the IP, the brands, the logos, etc. I think sometimes what it is, even just outside of the price, we're so passionate about whatever it is that we are doing, whatever the product, service is it that we've managed to create. We just want to do that.
Yes.
And sometimes a lot of these things that really help us to secure and protect and make sure that we could continue doing it get brushed off to the side.
There's a very popular example I love to use in sessions, especially with female entrepreneurs. The Taiwanese, the Ministry of Social Development have these trainings with female entrepreneurs, and they've asked us to come. So we've done about 4 or 5 sessions with them. We have a lot of people who are into hair products, skin products, things of self-care nature. And there was an example of a lady in St. Lucia who was making hair products, and she called it Kinky Curly Me. So that was the name of her products.
Right.
But then in the US, there's a hair product line called Kinky Curly. And because the lady in St. Lucia was trading her products to the US, Kinky Curly wrote her in St. Lucia and asked her to cease and desist from using Kinky Curly Me as her brand name, because when she crosses over in the US, Kinky Curly is a registered trademark and it is infringing their trademark. So she had to rebrand everything.
Right.
In business for a good amount of years, had to rebrand everything.
Right.
Because she was infringing on somebody else's trademark. And you realize too that trademark protection doesn't stop you from people who replicate your trademark exactly, even if it is too close.
Right.
The legal term is confusingly similar, where the public would not be able to tell that this is
from this particular
from Jade
company,
versus right. If it is too close or confusingly similar, you could also
have some
use
protection,
that protection.
Yeah. Because, and the truth is, if she had perhaps gone through the trademark process earlier, that might have come up to say, hey, you know, there's this thing that that's out there, and maybe
but
somebody
you don't
might
even have to go so far as trademark protection. If she had done a Google search,
right,
and see that there is another brand in existence that is close to one that I want to use, you would recognize.
And doing similar products as well. That's very important.
Yes, yes.
That's very important.
So it's something that we encourage people to do. Just do a Google search of the brand that you're doing or the brand that you want to launch. Make sure nobody else is using it. And recognize that even if you think, oh, it's Little St. Kitts and Nevis or Little St. Lucia, nobody gonna ever notice. People notice things now. Everything is so digitally based, internet based.
We're all online.
Exactly. So
there's no geographical boundaries for anything we're doing anymore. Like everything is everything is global now.
Right.
So
well, I think the work that you guys are doing is very important, and I think a lot of I look forward to seeing these videos. I know Kitisha is very creative, and so you may be flooded with an influx of videos.
Well, let's hope so. The more the better.
That's the hope, right?
The more the better, and you know, if we see that we have this large influx, I'm not against going to beg for more. So so the deadline is the 28th of March.
28th of March.
Yes. So we're hoping that we get these videos. You just have to do your video, post it on Facebook, tag the Intellectual Property Office of St. Kitts and Nevis in the video, and use the hashtag Women and IP SKN.
Yes, guys. And remember, you can also go over to that same page to find all this information, I'm sure.
Yes, we're going to post all of this on the page today.
All right, March 28th, guys. So get your concepts together, get your creative juices flowing, and get your submission in. Jen, you involved in something tomorrow at the church?
Yes.
You want to mention it quick?
So we have the Nevis Evangelical Association reached out to us because they said they keep having issues with live streaming when they do their services. So they wanted to understand what intellectual property is, why their streams are getting cut off. Is there anything that they could do to prevent that? So we did a session called IP and the Church in Nevis last week. And then the Ministry of Ecclesiastical Affairs, that word does tie me up every time. That ministry reached out to us and said, well, the churches in St. Kitts want that same session. So we'll be doing that tomorrow at 10 o'clock at the name of the church.
Pentecostal Church of God.
Yes.
And that's on
Boone Street, opposite.
Boone Street.
Yes, the Cotton Thomas Comprehensive.
Yes.
Is this at your church?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This church sounds so familiar.
Yes, I didn't remember. I just remember the name of the street. I remember, what is Boone Street? We have a Boone Street?
That's the street there by Patsy Ellis Playfield and Cotton Thomas Comprehensive School.
So they said right across from Cotton Thomas, right? So we have that tomorrow at 10. It's open to churches, anybody who's interested in learning more about it.
Yeah, representatives from tech teams at the churches, the teams that handle the streaming at churches and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
Those are people who probably, make your way there.
Just so you have an understanding of, what is happening behind what the church. And a lot of people think that the church should be exempt from copyright laws and so on.
That's not
but actually there is a provision that says, you know, charitable purposes, you don't have to ask for permission, but that has been flagged internationally as something that we need to take out of our laws. So there won't be much space for us to save churches.
Are operating globally, right? And so even understanding, hey, this is how things are set up, and these are the reasons why it's like this, etc., etc. I think it's good for just a level of understanding. Like I've had this conversation with churches. I think I've had experiences. I worked in mega churches in the US. So I was involved in, for instance, like the worship team sending up the logs and all of this. Like, so I've seen that in streaming and all that. She's here now doing similar things. It really is something that they're becoming more and more aware.
COVID
forced them.
Change the game. So we have to understand the rules behind playing.
So I love that this is something that you know, the churches themselves are recognizing, hey, we want to learn more, and this is something that we need to kind of educate ourselves on, so we could, you know, aware of how to navigate it.
And any other group who's understanding how IT affects their work and do, that's something that we're willing. We usually ask for like a minimum of 10 people, so even if you and 9 of your friends need to understand something
could be
find us up. It's an opportunity there for you to learn more.
And the truth is that IP affects us all in some way.
Every single way.
You can't escape it, because everything we do is birthed out of someone's creativity, right? And it's involved in everything. So even if you're not sure as to how IP affects you and your business and all the ways that you need to be aware of intellectual property rights and such, you know, reach out to the IP office and ask a question.
Yes, Intellectual Property Office of St. Kitts and Nevis on Facebook, 467-1976, regular phone, or you can question. We are located on Jade.
Awesome, easy to find, just across from the courthouse. Yeah, too easy. Well, Gian, and there's a lot happening, and we appreciate the work that you and the rest of the persons in the department are doing. I'm looking forward to seeing these videos posted.
I'm going to look.
You could create too.
Apparently, I've been roped in to be a cameraman or something. I'm not quite sure.
Team effort, friend.
I'm not quite sure what my role is, but I don't have a choice apparently. She bagged me up on the air yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's evidence. Okay, well,
she didn't deny it. You better still know she didn't deny it. You don't believe that? There's no evidence.
Well, I asked about evidence, because if there's evidence, then there.
This sounds so aggressive.
You make up.
Yes. But Jan, again, thank you so much for taking time out, coming and hanging out with us here at SipNchat at the Sugar Factory. Anything to reach out and
this is going to be a busy year for us. We're finally changing laws. We're finally moving digital. So you'll be able to soon file your applications from your house.
Awesome.
And do your searches from your house rather than picking up the big heavy.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, so this is the year of grand
Hey guys, welcome back to Sip and Chat with Azem and Jade as we wrap up today's episode.
Yes, guys, apologies for the minor delay in streaming. You know how technology is. But we can jump into some more stories because I had a packed run sheet here for you guys.
Lovely.
Let me just see if the internet would allow it. There we go. So, Azem, the Pentagon has an announcement for us.
The aliens are real.
No, that's actually what they...
That's it?
Yeah.
Wow.
That is literally an announcement. How did you know that?
I was kidding actually.
Oh, well, they're not. So, the Pentagon officials suggest alien mothership in our solar system could send mini probes to Earth. I don't hear though. I feel like this is a thing that they've done before. I mean, if I was a mothership, I would do that.
Jade, tell us what the aliens doing, yeah? Tell us what they're trying to tell us can happen that has already happened.
So, in a draft document last week, that aliens could be visiting our solar system and releasing smaller probes like missions conducted by NASA when studying other planets. A draft research report author Sean Kirkpatrick, the director of the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, and Abraham Loeb, chairman of Harvard University's Astronomy Department, was released on March 7th and focused on the physical constraints of unidentified aerial phenomena. Oh, look at the little mothership. Move. Okay, there we go. Do not stop this mission. And oh my God. Oh my God. The aliens messing with my tablet. Okay, there we go. 1 second. An artificial interstellar object could post passage to Earth, an operational construct not too dissimilar from NASA missions, the report read. These dandelion seeds could be separated from the parent craft by the tidal gravitational force of the sun, or by a maneuvering capability. The AARO was established in July 2022 and is responsible for tracking objects in the sky, underwater, and in space, or possibly an object that has the ability to move from one domain to the next. So yeah.
So they're saying that if there was a mothership that it could do this, or are they saying that there's something that they think might be a mothership and it probably gonna do this?
That's what I gathered. That is what I gathered, friend. Which, not far-fetched. I mean, again, time and time I say it here. It is quite far-fetched for us to feel. Sorry, not far-fetched. It's quite ignorant for us to feel like we are the only things in the whole universe. Ain't no way.
Humans got this way. Just believe in me. Just extra special here.
Yeah, are we not? We can't even fly. Nothing. We're just here destroying ourselves day by day. Mishap by mishap.
Well,
maybe the aliens release COVID to see how we would react to it.
I think the aliens are already here. I think they have a bunch of guidelines that they figure out. Hey, when a new civilization achieves this, then we release ourselves to them, and then we give them all the other technology. But we can't give them the technology before because they're not mature enough to handle it.
I still don't know if they're gonna give us anything.
Jade, we're not mature enough to use Instagram.
TikTok. They ain't giving us something.
We're killing ourselves with these things, and we know, and we just continue doing it anyway.
We're out here eating toilet pot dancer. Like, they ain't giving us none advanced.
We're out here boiling fabuloso.
Wow, this is why I don't tell man not boy, you know.
I'm Jade.
I'm against you.
I'm Jade.
At a moment's notice, that's why you keep all your things to yourself, women. You don't tell these men nothing. Because they throw it back in your face.
Oh, well. Oh, my.
Wow.
So what's going on now?
It says...
It has to do with Asian food?
No.
Oh.
But Eleanor Williams jailed for 8.5 years after rape and trafficking lies.
I tried to figure out where you got it. I think you like this one.
Because we often talk about how women aren't held accountable for when they... We literally talked about this last week, Azem.
Right, okay.
A woman has been jailed for 8.5 years after found guilty of lying about being raped and trafficked by an Asian group. How did you guess that? How did you guess that Asian would be in here somehow? Are you an alien, Azem? You can tell me, you know.
Jade, continue with your... Continue with the article now, like... I don't know what you're suggesting.
Nothing.
In life, there are these things called coincidences, Jade.
Back to back. Back to back.
It happens, Jade. It's a coincidence.
Sure. An Asian grooming gang and making false rape claims against a series of other men. Eleanor Williams, 22, from Borough in Furness, was convicted in January of 9 counts of preventing the course of justice. Her claims went viral during lockdown in May 2020 when she posted photographs of herself on Facebook covered in shocking bruises with a black eye and partially severed finger. She said she has been beaten and made to attend sex parties by evil yet clever Asian men, mostly Pakistani business owners. The allegations soon spread far beyond Cumbria and sparked a global solidarity campaign.
Of course.
Justice.
I
can't get this alien from my minute.
Jade, this is so. It's just that was predictable, Jade. You know the cause.
Justice for Eleanor. With more than 100,000 Facebook members, it had its own line of merchandise.
Yes. Here we go. Monetizing the thing now. Let's go. This is run of the mill, Jade. Let's monetize my so-called trauma.
Yeah. Listen. Okay. Featuring a purple elephant and pop-ted rallies all over the UK.
Oh, they got people with tattoos and them purple elephants all over the skin now. Solidarity for Jennifer, what's your name?
Ellie, why? Who is Jennifer? Oh, dear.
And the people that really suffer because of her things ain't just the men, you know. It's the actual women who have to deal with these types of situations. That
nobody can believe you now. It's very difficult for you as a person who has been traumatized, abused, any of these things, to now come out and say, me too, when the person who you say me too behind lied. Lock up, yes.
I mean, the truth is though, that's one thing we get shamed for. We get shamed for saying anytime anybody says, oh, this happened to me, to just be like, something here, I don't know. All of a sudden is, remember when the Jesse Smollett thing come out? People was cooking me.
For sure?
People was cooking me. I was like, this doesn't make no sense. So Azem, you just want to say the man just wrap a noose around his own neck.
Yes, actually. He did that. That is exactly what he did.
I kept saying from this, people was vexing me. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Anybody, I used to live in the stage today. Right? I am not leaving my house, walking on the road to get Subway at 2 in the morning. Subway ain't hitting like that. No. 2 o'clock in the morning.
Maybe like a Wendy's, a McDonald's.
Something fried.
But a sandwich? Sir!
Basically, you're passing all the bodegas going down to a Subway?
A Subway of all things?
Jade, not only that, you know. So there's this hate crime, right? The people put a noose on your neck.
I was walking around with the noose.
You're walking around with the
like
noose.
Fresh bling.
You're walking around with the noose on your neck, up and down the place.
All in your apartment, just strolling back and forth with it.
There's like 2 hours here on this noose.
Sir! I actually saw an interview with the accomplices this morning, saying that they can't believe he left them out to dry. Like, what y'all think he was going to do? The man, and for no reason, you know, that's what pissed me off about this, you know. You lied for no reason. And doubled down multiple times.
I mean, at that point, he kind of had to. Like, at what point do you come out and say...
calling himself the new Tupac and so, you know?
But Jade, at what point do you come out and say, okay, guys, come but I fake this whole thing. Like, I fake a hate crime on myself. You got to take it to the max.
You're sick. Sick,
So
sick.
tell me
sick.
what's going on with Sandra here.
Who is that? Who is Sandra?
That she did. Okay.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
In a letter to the judge, Preston court on Tuesday, Williams maintained her innocence but said she was sorry and devastated at how her Facebook post affected Borough. So, I understand that it is your job to believe the jury's verdict, and that's okay. I know I have made some mistakes. I am sorry. I know it's no excuse, but I was young and confused. Ma'am, listen to me.
You was young and attention hungry.
That's
all it was.
You wasn't confused.
You were bored during the pandemic.
And we all were bored. However, we all were doing this.
We didn't fake a kidnapping.
We do a little, bust it challenge here and there.
I still can't believe people was climbing up on them crates, eh?
I could. They said the FBI was dropping them crates in the communities like crack back in the 80s. Why?
Where are these people finding all this?
Why y'all want to fall off of them so bad? Like, why is it that y'all was watching other people fall off of them and say, you know what? I don't do that.
Okay, the alien probes just watching this thing, I mean, like,
nothing advanced.
what going on with these apes?
I must be mad by.
What going on with them apes? Like, that's what they're watching us and saying, yeah?
Me must be advanced technology and I don't hear falling off a crate willingly. Y'all just make us look real dumb, you know?
So what happened to Karen now? She went to...
Oh my God, who is Karen?
What is that shit?
Her name is Ellie. Ellie Azem.
What happened to Ellie now? She tell the judge that then the judge tell her, girl, let's go.
She said, I am not saying I'm guilty, but I know I have done wrong on some, on some of this. And I am sorry. I am devastated at the trouble that has been caused in Borough. If I knew what consequences would come from the status,
imagine that.
I would have never posted it.
Oh, imagine that. Imagine that. If you knew what consequences would come, you would not have posted
So y'all ain't no consequences actions have consequences?
A lot of people don't seem to believe that, Jade. Especially
Is this a new concept?
Especially when it comes to social media. People seem to believe social media is just a...
It is not Nanyo.
Oh. Some people want to believe that, though, you know. Right here in SK, you know.
But I realize that. I
Is
realize
it-
somebody think that Facebook is not a real place. So y'all just
post whatever you want, say whatever you want,
just
and then no
hit
consequences.
send, nothing.
No
Just
consequences in the so-called real world.
dumb.
I'm just watching to see how some of these things play out, yeah, because people out there wilding,
Y'all
calling people out their name, lying on people,
so dumb. I don't get it.
carrying themselves like they have no sorts of home training, no upbringing.
No scruples, nothing.
Nothing.
Oh my God, man. Y'all just embarrass me daily.
Embarrass themselves.
But it's second-hand embarrassment is a thing, eh?
Yeah.
And I feel it a lot on social media. Because why y'all just come on this app, right? Type out things, record yourselves, and just hit send.
Attention. Attention is one, and sometimes, Jade, we're gonna have to come to the facts. With some people just stupid. We don't like to.
Calling them dumb. May think some of y'all just dumb.
We don't like to admit it. We don't like to admit it, Jade.
Azem, when I found out that ain't everybody, you know that voice in your head, right? You just hear it? You have one of those?
Yes.
I have one as well. But there are people that don't. And I feel like that is the problem.
Or they just ignore it.
No, some people literally don't have.
You don't think so? Wow.
No, it's a proven fact that they don't have it.
They don't have a conscience?
No,
Wow.
they don't, Azem. And that is why they'll just be out here doing just things for no reason.
You know, you're going way down the YouTube rabbit hole on this
No,
one.
go do it, you can see.
Because you just blowing my mind right now.
Azem, some people don't have that tiny voice in their head saying, you probably shouldn't do that.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just win and ear up there.
Because right now, I'm just thinking about one person in particular, and it's like, okay, this makes a lot of sense.
No, win just going through the head. Emptiness, Azem. Emptiness.
And I have very little faith in us as the people. I'm looking at some of the responses that people are having to discussions surrounding people's behavior on social media, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
It's bad enough when you have the person that made the initial post initial transgression or carry themselves in a particular way. But when people come and try to defend the slackness is weird. Because
defend and agree.
Because all you have to do, right? All you have to do, Jade, is not say anything. Like let's say for instance, you don't want to bad talk the person, you don't have to go and make yourself also look like an idiot.
You literally could say nothing.
You don't have to post something.
You don't have to.
So there are people out there cooking.
Optional.
There are people out there cooking the person as they should, right? Because I keep saying we need to call out these things. But then here comes the defenders.
Oh my God.
Right? The slackness defenders, as I call them.
Slackness defenders.
The slackness defenders come in on the white horse. I'm here to save you. I'm here to save you. And they start making all these weird arguments as to why the slackness makes sense.
Social media is a wild thing. I feel like that's the first job that the alien should have.
Look, Jade.
Lock off all of this.
Jade, let me tell you something.
Reset the thing.
You know one of the things that I found so interesting over the past week or so?
What?
I've been seeing several instances of the slackness defenders and their defense of somebody's crazy actions being they were interacting with a fake page. Now, whether or not you're interacting with a fake page, we know you.
Yeah.
Like we know you.
We not see you, you know?
We're not somehow. Like, how is it that your behavior is better because
it's a fake page
you're talking to a fake page?
Well, the real people them see no should be, eh? Mainly if you realize.
Like,
the fake page might not, but the real people we're watching you sideways.
Show me the ID of this person who you all say they're talking to. That is a fake page. But we're discussing the person's actions. We don't need your ID.
But let me tell you something, right? Recently, I saw a director just go on social media and just start to type and send. No, not a director. They're on the board of a prestigious establishment here in St. Kitts. I need y'all to understand that we could still see you, man. Like, I don't know what up here that's telling you that I could just say anything and it's only the person I'm replying to could see me.
I don't know if it's a matter that they feel emboldened or empowered as well. Perhaps they feel like they're in a position now where there's no consequences because of whatever reason. I don't know, maybe...
No, consequences happen daily, man.
I don't... But we can see. Because if there's no consequence, then perhaps they were right.
Oh, yeah, I see.
If there's no consequence, then perhaps they were right.
Azem, if I jump off the ship, right, and just start to type like that person, you would fire me.
Yes.
I hate my boss.
Yes. Both statements are correct.
But y'all just out there just saying anything, man.
Jade, I can't understand how we continually hold big adults with responsibilities, right? With responsibilities to lower standards than we hold a 5-year-old in preschool.
Listen,
like, it's ridiculous.
I just see y'all talking about, oh, they're supposed to know better and all of these things. And y'all talking about kids. Meanwhile, big grown adults.
Backing up all kind of slackness.
Out here doing complete and utter nonsense, you know?
Backing it up.
And y'all just like, well, let them live their life. No.
Hey, the idea of just letting people live their life is just like incredible to me, you know. I just tell people, you're totally free to live your life any way you want, make any decision, and have no consequences. Just go live on a Booby Island.
Listen,
just go live on Booby Island by yourself.
It's right there.
But when you start talking about being a part of a society, society has rules that we all determine we're going to live by.
Yeah, except from the rules, man. You might feel so, but
like,
you're not.
Oh my gosh, I had this conversation with a young lady a few weeks ago. And she was telling me how she was so proud of this other young lady who just literally did just be like doing whatever she wants on the social media. Like the young lady that just go live and just talk whatever she wants. Like she was literally at one point instructing high school children how to sneak out the house and the parents don't know. Right? This was a thing happening.
Look at the terrorists, yes, sir.
Right?
Well, I have one for you.
Right? What are the dep?
Listen.
So and she is telling me how she just loves how she doesn't care what people say about her. Oh my God, she's
because
she's so brave.
Your child and your family member.
She's so brave. She's so strong. Oh
she's
my God.
She's also very stupid.
Right? And the thing is, right? Society don't want to tell people how to live their life.
Thankfully, because if they didn't, a lot of y'all.
Society don't want to tell people how to live their life, and I love how she just live her life how she wants. I said, but wait. The first thing is society ain't telling you how to live your life. What society does
is give you a guide.
And then say, hey, these are the consequences if you don't. You could still go ahead and go against it.
You could do your thing.
You could still go ahead and go against
That's
it.
That's up to you. However,
there'll be consequences to your actions, right?
Naturally.
That's the first thing. The second thing is, if you want to just live how you want, then just go up by yourself.
Create your own island. Epstein did it.
Just go be by yourself. And then, because my thing is, you don't want to adhere to the rules of the society, but you want to enjoy all the benefits. You want to be able to walk down the road and people ain't just robbing you, slapping you about your face. You want to be able to go to the bank and put your money in. You want to even enjoy this thing called money. All these things are consequences of people coming together and working together in a society, right? So you want to enjoy all of that, but then you want society to tell you nothing. You should just be able to do what you want.
Eat, go.
I can't like, Jade, but we live in a weird time. So weird time.
We Kingston, I think we should wrap up the show. Maybe I have that, but I'm concerned. We're losing Kingston's by the day. We're not over in that room.
I am scared.
Me too.
I'm scared.
So tomorrow we're going to come here and end the show. God. Oh my God. I'm going for the Kingstons.
Yeah.
So now, you know?
Yeah.
Put in the chat for them because.
This is Senkits, Jade. This is what happens. This is Senkits.
Y'all just pissed me off, you know. The meaning like y'all just pissed me off by. I can't see it, man. It's nonsense. It just sound like nonsense.
Things don't upset me to that point. I'm pretty zen, but it's like that don't mean I don't see it, and that don't mean me gonna say something. But I really just getting to the point where I'm just really not allowing people to get me off my center. Often. So
that's the one. If me see you and you see me, how you gonna piss me off?
You're right.
Because I could come off of Facebook easily, you know. Yeah, I just choose.
I am so curious to see what's gonna happen with that particular situation you're describing. Is one of them that I'm looking at, and there's another one that I'm looking at that is like, let's see what happens here.
Oh, I see what I mean.
Let's see what happens here. Like, let's really see. Like what's gonna happen here. And the funny thing about that one that you're talking about is... You read them?
You read the comments?
Yes, Jade.
Oh my God,
the funny thing about that one, right, is that the institution that that person is a member of the board for is a media institution.
Like, so do you know we can see you?
Oh, man.
What? Why would you even do that?
Only.
Like you could think it. Nobody can tell you what to think.
One of the things that
why would you type it out and hit send?
One of the things that I am thinking about doing is having a segment on SipNchat called Only in St. Christopher.
Listen, when you want to do this, are you ready, yeah?
Because I'm telling you, some things I am convinced could only happen in St. Christopher.
We are a reoccurring Netflix series, Azem. I bet you, right? I bet you, between the hours of when we leave the show to tomorrow, something's gonna happen.
Of course, Jade. Of course.
Because y'all have no resting place. Y'all do not rest.
Yeah.
You see the picture that you comment on? I thought I was saying it. Thank God it wasn't. But they really drove off for a while. I was racking my brain, eh?
It was not Sinkits.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, I figured it wasn't Sinkits, but... Yeah, I figured it wasn't Sinkits.
No, I was fully racking my brain because how the bus?
Yeah, there's a picture of a bus with its two rear wheels up on a wall. So it's like almost doing if it was a person, it would be doing a handstand.
Yeah, the bus was doing a handstand. A wheel stand.
A wheel stand. I don't understand. Like,
they drove off a wall.
How did they get on the wall?
Okay, let me show you. So I think the picture should be in Mr. still, right? So, yes. So apparently they didn't put the bus in park or whatever.
Ah,
yeah.
So they drove. Okay.
They just.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when I see the second picture, I saw how this makes sense.
Yeah. It's still very funny.
It reminded me at the time the Rasta man drove up on the side of the car when he fasted.
Ah, yes.
I thought it was a situation like that. You
Guys,
know, 14 years ago, what his name? Jeff put out the Hail the Man song. It
was 14 years ago?
14. I think how old we be.
That was 14 years ago? Hail the Man, please, for $1? Wow.
14.
14 years.
I ain't going to nobody's house. I ain't going to nobody's car.
Until you give me $1.
Until you give me $1.
Oh man, but yeah, Jade, it's interesting. Like, there's a lot of things that happen, and you just kind of wonder, like,
what wrong with that?
Is this a real place? But
a real person, like I believe somebody is bats, you know. Maybe that's what the aliens do. They just drop stupid people amongst us to see how we just react to them.
It's like a game.
Yeah.
They're playing a game. Oh, but yeah, Jade, alas, we had to leave. We gotta go. We gotta disembark. You have to go to sleep. I gotta go to work.
Eat. What we eating for breakfast? Same time, same place as yesterday?
I don't know. We can figure it out. But yeah, I need to eat.
You sure did?
I need to eat.
I
have a long day today. I go over to Nevis this afternoon. So I have a long day.
You have to go to Nevis this afternoon?
Yeah, I have to go to Nevis. I mean, I love going to Nevis. I love going to Nevis.
It's a pretty place.
Let me tell you something. I was just to say, if I had stayed touring, like full-time touring, I would have probably moved to Nevis. So that when I come off tour, like when I get my little 2 weeks off and thing, I'd have probably just jump on land on the plane, go tell my mommy hello, tell my father what's up, and then jump on the boat and go to Nevis.
Oh, what's this new? Go ahead. Yeah. No, I would Joe. I love Nevis, bad. Or the PM gonna be live on Issues. I wonder what you're talking about. The same things he's been talking about.
Issues. Issues. But the thing with the PM live on Issues does crack me up. Does be the callers, eh? The callers.
Somebody just be asking anything by.
Somebody be blaming the PM for things he ain't even got things to do.
The man got nothing to do with half the things.
Sometimes they actually come up with some really good points and things. So it's a mix.
But somehow
it'll be very interesting. The callers very interesting.
I know the PM does walk all our ship sometimes, but he can't do that. He can't hang Gaston. If it was Gaston would have called our ship.
Then that's true.
Gaston would have dead ass called him ship.
Yeah. Gaston don't play.
You know he don't play.
Yeah, Gaston don't play.
But our Prime Minister has a lot more decorum than Gaston. So.
Yeah. But guys, alas, we gotta leave, we gotta go, we gotta disembark, we gotta disappear. It's that time of day.
If it was Talbot now.
Wow. But yeah, guys, please, again, based on everything we have been saying, do better, deal with people with love, grace. Be mindful that there are consequences to our actions. Right? There isn't anyone perfect. But at the same time, be mindful.
Be mindful.
Be mindful.
Try.
Yes.
At least, and listen guys, very importantly, everything you type out on your phone, you don't have to hit send.
Yeah, they don't even got to type it on your phone.
And everything you think, the world should know about. Y'all don't have the thoughts that I be thinking. Because y'all would literally look at me crazy. So I keep them tucked away in here. I think y'all should as well.
Yeah, indeed. But guys, of course, related to this entire thing is spend more time living your content than posting it. And of course, please remember that you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. We're going to see you guys tomorrow.